episode number 12.
Welcome to the Teaching Bites podcast, our unprofessional development resource to take your teaching to the next level. Here are your hosts, Fred and Sharon Jaravada.
Welcome to our show where we share bite-sized tips and ideas so you can make them your own. Whether you're a new teacher or a veteran teacher that needs an extra spark, we're here to help you take your teaching to the next level. We're your hosts. She's Sharon.
And he's Fred.
Welcome back, everyone. This is part 2 of our favorite productivity tools. Last week was part 1, and this episode we're going to share more of our favorite tools that we use in school and also that we have our 2 students use as well. Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And to start off our episode 12, we have fun facts for number 12. And I had 3. I couldn't eliminate. I had to use all of them. But
these are pretty interesting. These are the top 3 you found.
So how many people do you think have walked on the moon? There are 12.
12.
I
Nice.
can't even name that many besides Neil Armstrong.
Well, that's the first one. That's why. Buzz Aldrin. They're the first guys. That's
Right.
why. Right.
And then also there are normally 12 pairs of ribs in the human body.
What do you mean by normally?
I don't know what normally means.
Is this where
Like a
people don't, it doesn't grow or it doesn't harden? Or
I don't know.
Because I know it's cartilage, right? And then it grows, gets stronger. Or am I wrong? You biology teachers, please let us know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I know people have they remove it sometimes to reduce the waistline. Like Janet Jackson did that a few years ago. The rumor was that she did that.
Yeah, I thought we had maybe 6 pairs, but maybe we should count them.
No, we have 24. Yeah, usually it's 24, but 24 ribs, but just the word normally.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the Beatles, we know the band Beatles.
Who are they? I don't know who they are.
I don't know either. I forgot.
Probably
John Ringo. John Ringo,
the
Paul
greatest
George.
band ever, right?
They had released 12 albums, and I actually thought there were more. But they were so big that I guess they seemed like they released double.
Well, I think there's also the studio. They released like special editions, live editions, and
greatest hits.
Yeah,
and
that's why it
unplugged.
sounds like number ones and so on. It seems like they did a lot. I mean, they did do a lot. So, right, but we have something special to talk about.
Yeah, and I was getting the mail yesterday and, looking through
real
the
mail this time, not emails.
Snail mail, that's right. Looking at bills, and we're like, okay, this is another, some letter for me about something not relevant. And then suddenly we got this postcard. And I'm like, wow, it's from Iowa. And this guy named John, he wrote us a postcard.
A real postcard.
And he really
cool.
loved our podcast, Our Teachers Learners.
Go ahead and read what it says.
Yeah, he says, really enjoy your podcasts. In response to the question posed, Our Teachers Learners, and then he puts a quote. It says, who dares to teach must never cease to learn, by John Cotton Dawa. I'm not sure of the spelling, but he wrote below that this is inscribed in the entrance to a grade school in my hometown of Quincy, Florida. And we're just in awe still of this.
Very, very, very touched about this.
And John, you took the time to do this.
No one does this anymore, right? No one really does send postcards. Well, at least the people I know, they don't do this really. Right? I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts and I really appreciate what they do, but I haven't really written a postcard to them, a thank you note. Which, John, you have inspired me to do that also. So thank you.
And look for a one from us.
Thank you so
San
much,
Francisco.
John. Really, really appreciate it.
Very honored. Very, very honored.
Thank you. This is going up
Amazing.
to our wall.
Yeah, thank you, John. All right.
Okay.
So, Fred, what are your favorite tools you use with your kids?
All right. So the favorite tools, real quickly. I talked about this a little bit over the few past episodes. My favorite tool to use especially I'm in is makerspace type of area. Lego Robotics in particular. Lego Robotics, that's for the students from grades 4 and up, 5 and up, really, we use that. But we also have something called the Cubelets Robotics by Mod Robotics. So robotics is a huge part of what I do in our Spark studio.
Right, so I have a question. There's a lot of terminology, STEM, robotics. Mm-hmm. It seems like there's so many robotics camps. Can you just give me like a sentence about what robotics is for listeners that don't know what it is? I mean, we know it involves robots, but why would it be a great tool in school?
Okay, so robotics is very important. What I've learned over the years that it's a way to take a thing, you program it, or you take a bunch of materials together. Like in this case, it could be Legos, Lego techniques, or cubelets. They're like cube sized. They're like cubes. You literally stick together magnetically, but you take materials, put them together, and you program it with some kind of program, JavaScript, Python, and all those technical terms, and you can make it do something. Usually, you could control it by radio control, Bluetooth control, or you can actually program it with the language, one of those languages like Scratch and so on, and learning how to use sensors. Robots basically can't do anything until you tell it what to do, and it has sensors, so it can sense like temperature, it can sense distance, it can sense
light, right?
Light also, the ambient light. So those really help. It can gather. It does gather data around the environment. A few years ago, we sent a weather balloon.
That was
one of our
awesome.
teachers, Elena, that a science teacher. We had a weather balloon go up. Unfortunately, we didn't have any kind of sensors to go up there to measure, the barometric. Am I pronouncing it
barometric
correctly?
pressure?
Barometric pressure and the temperature. We didn't have that, but basically, robots can do that. That's what robots do. Sensors, and they take data, and it downloads the data to your computer, and you could interpret the data, and you could tweak it.
Plus, you could see real time, like the efforts that you've went through to do it, because it will respond in a certain way, and then you'll see.
Just like how you do in Scratch, you make it move 10 steps on the screen. You take a robot, you make it go 10 steps out in the real world.
Yeah, and kids see it all over, like the drones and.
It's all over now. I mean, it's in the park. It's all over. It's you slap a GoPro on it, and you take some incredible footage.
Yeah.
Okay. So Legos and Cubelets. We're gonna have the links down in the show notes. The next thing, moving on. My favorite app or my favorite tool, really, and I say this all the time. It is the camera. We use iPads in my school. We also have MacBooks, and they have cameras on them. And the camera, it's an amazing tool. A camera's been around for over 150 years or so, 120, 30 years already. In the classrooms, people had flip cams, people had digital cameras.
Flip camera.
Yeah, and now they're on your phones now, right? So the camera, we use it to document learning process. The students do that. They take a picture of what they're trying to explain, or they use the camera to take video of the whole learning process, and they do a reflection. So they point the camera to themselves, and they reflect on what they just learned. I like doing it a video reflection that's raw, not really edited. And just go ahead and just upload it, and then they can reflect. You can watch that video the first time, and then maybe a month later, they can talk about how they feel, if their feelings have changed since the first video.
And actually, I saw this on you have a blog, right? And the kids uploaded their reflections on your blog or somewhere.
Yeah, we have a
school
school server. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very powerful. I mean, their audience it's public.
Yeah.
So How do the kids respond?
Public? Oh no. The ones I showed you it's strictly for a school. It's our school Google Sites.
Oh, okay.
So you need to log in with a school email.
Okay. How are the kids responding to reflect on it on video? Do they like it, or would they?
I think they liked it. I think it's hard for them, especially with certain students, like with the boys. It's harder for them just to reflect. It depends on the age group. Some of the kids love talking, and most of the kids don't like talking. That's the challenge. That's the challenge of trying to get a pre-adolescent boy or a teenager to reflect.
Yeah,
right. It's hard.
What's this for?
But with YouTube now, it's becoming more commonplace now. Talking heads on YouTube. It's happening more and more.
Well, and this helps kids with their public speaking skills. And I was thinking even for my class, for my second language learners, having pictures, having them take pictures of something that whatever they're learning, and they can write about it, is really helpful for them too.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, the camera, my favorite app, my favorite tool. Another favorite of mine, probably the second or third favorite thing I've been using, and I've introduced it to my students, is something called Canva, Canva. It's a free website. They also have an iOS app, and I believe they have one for Android as well. It is a free graphic design tool. Think about it as Photoshop, but Photoshop for the rest of us. Photoshop is really used for like the higher end user, like professionals and intermediate users. Canva, it's a drag drop. You can search, so it has a database of icons and pictures, and you can choose those, and you can even upload your own picture, and you can drag it and drop it into the canvas, and you can start building your image. You can you have fonts. You can add fonts, font sizes, colors, and so on. And so you can make banners. You can make different sizes of Pinterest
cover
board or whatever you call it.
Oh, boards.
You have blog post pictures. You also have business cards.
Right.
You can also make that. You can also, and these are pre-made sizes, so you can just choose like a blog post, or you choose a Facebook post, or a LinkedIn size, or even a Pinterest poster or whatever board they call it.
Or Facebook cover photo. You could,
right.
Yeah.
So it's already predetermined. You pick that, drag and drop. You search for an image, upload an image, drag, drop it in there, move it around. You can filter it. Just like on Instagram, you can filter that with the colors. You can play around with that, the focus. And it's free. It's amazing. But the way they make money is where they charge for like stock photos. So you'll see them, I think most of them, if not all of them, the ones more higher quality or the stock photo type pictures, they usually cost $1. So you can make a really beautiful image that has graphics and that has text for free, really. But if you really want to add more of the stock photo, then at least $1 each image, and special backgrounds, and
Yeah, of course, it's understandable. Mm-hmm. So, how do your kids use it? Do they have their own email account to log in?
So, yes, good. That's a good point to bring up. They log in themselves. Canva is recommended. It's only usually. It is definitely. No, let me take that back. The services of Canva, just like most internet services or websites, is 13 and over. And the students can log in. At least my 8th grade boys can log in, and they can do, and our 8th grade girls, they can do and create their own images with that. So at least 13. How do you get around that for teachers? If you have younger students, check your policy with your school's internet policy. You can always log in yourself as a teacher, and you control it, and you could have your students build it for you, build their graphics, but it's going to be under your email.
Right. So they have to talk about respecting each other's work, because it's going to all be on there.
Right, and as a teacher, you can always change the password.
Yeah, true.
That helps. Mm-hmm. So teachers out there, use Canva. Try it out. It's great. Make sure if you have students under 13, make sure you have one login that you control and you monitor them as well. So,
yeah, and actually, by the way, we use Canva to make our cover photos and these podcast images.
Right.
So
it's free. It's great.
It's really fun.
It is fun. You can spend hours changing the color, the fonts. You can waste a lot of time with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Yeah. All right, Sharon, what are you going to share today?
All right, so third graders need to learn their keyboarding skills. So in the past, I've used DanceMet typing, and it's really fun. There's like cartoons and animals talking to you, and it's a good sequence, but it doesn't keep track of progress like typing.com does. And what that means is that students use their Gmail accounts to log in, and it keeps track of their levels they're at. It looks at their time, their words per minute accuracy.
That's important to save their work.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and I just do it 5 minutes at a time. I don't say let's do this for a half hour,
Right.
And if anything, I'll do it once a week, but it's not as much as I want to. But it's important,
Have you seen an improvement over since you've done this typing with their other projects?
That's a good question. I see some kids really trying hard to stay on home row keys, but some kids are kind of slipping and starting to hunt and peck. Mm-hmm. And I remind them, and I don't want to be too hard about it, but
right,
and to turn them off to it.
I see adults; they're pecking also.
I know.
So it's it's not keyboarding. It's keyboarding, and it's not efficient. If it's efficient, I mean, this is the QWERTY keyboard, and it's supposedly not the most efficient way of keyboarding. It's Dvorak or whatever, something else. And we also have touch screens now. So
true. All right, my second tool is BrainPop and BrainPop Junior.
Moby.
Moby and Tim and Moby.
Tim and Moby, and what's the girl's name? I
forgot, but that's Junior.
BrainPop Junior. And they have BrainPop Espanol also.
They do. And actually, my school, we have a license for it, and it is amazing because kids, they love it. It's fun. There's closed captioning on it.
I use that a lot, closed captioning also.
Yes, me too. You taught me that. And it's great for all curricular areas. The featured video is free. Otherwise, there's some things that if you don't have a license, you cannot access. I use it for front-loading concepts, reviewing them as well. And I also have a bookmark on my blog or on the computers for the kids to go for choice time. And there's extension activities are available for different learning styles. So, if you're learning about the trees or something, there's a way to show what you learned by drawing or writing about it or building a tree or, there's a lot of great ideas. But my kids always love those quizzes.
Yeah,
can we do the quiz, please?
You do it by a class quiz.
Class quiz.
Right.
They love it.
They do love it.
It's
My
so
kids
fun.
Also.
So why not?
And they always like, we got 7 out of 10 wrong.
Yeah.
He gets so upset.
Right.
But they love it with 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but it's fun because I feel like the way BrainPop, they curate all this content. They're really clear about the concepts. It's very short, to the point, and they have like great vocabularies, entertaining and like engaging.
Fun. Mm-hmm.
So why
Definitely one of the
why
best
not?
things out there.
Mm-hmm.
They've been around for a while too.
Do you know how long?
Also, I don't know. I mean, I met Moby.
I know you did.
And Isti. I think Isti 2007, 2008. I forget which year, but I met Moby. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this tool is actually a template that I created. It's actually featured on our Teachers Pay Teachers page under the title Building Vocabulary Power. And I call it word work in my classroom. So a lot of teachers have like dictionary work, like write the word, write the definition. And I know how important vocabulary is for kids. And I decided to do this template so kids can add words from their weekly vocabulary lists, or anytime they find a word they don't know, I tell them they need to look it up, so they can increase their knowledge and help them with their reading skills. And what this template has, it has a space to write the definition, which is the most commonly used definition. Of course, the word and the part of speech like noun, adjective, or verb. It also has a space for the example sentence from the text, from where they got it from, and a place where you can put the example sentence from the dictionary. And then finally, the most favorite one is a picture or symbol of the word, which is created by students so that they can remember visually what this word means. And
how do you have them create it?
They draw it.
They draw it.
So I feel like if you have all these modalities to help them remember the word even better than just here's a definition, boom, and they make it their own. And the template is actually, I give them one, and then they have to make their own after that. Because sometimes the bit boxes are limiting, or the circle is not big enough. So I want them to make, it could be similar, but have enough space for what they have to do instead of always trying to stay in the box. So I love it, and the kids are like excited about it, and
you use that every week, right?
All the time. I mean, it's part of their binder, and actually I have a blog post about my binder I made. I have the kids make for the first week of school on our teachingbytes.com site. So those are my tools.
Very, very impressive. Yep, I love Brain Pop.
Right. So we got Legos and Cubelets, and using cameras to document the process and reflection, and talked about Canva and how great this tool is to make graphic designs.
Yep.
Typing.com, Brain Pop and Brain Pop Jr., and the vocabulary power from Teachers Pay Teachers.
And we'll have a link on that. Don't do that too.
Right. So let us know what tools you use too with your kids. It would
let us know.
Really be awesome. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Please subscribe to our show and leave an honest rating and comment for feedback. It'll help us make our show better and allows our show to be discovered by other educators like you as well. And again, visit our site, teachingbytes.com, to subscribe. And we have a Facebook page as well. So, all right.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
See you later. Bye.
All right. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Teaching Bytes podcast at www.teachingbytes.com.